Okay, this has a history in this anti-capitalist critique. And this history originates from the way the critique of capitalism has been interpreted by the Soviet Union Marxists. Again, this is a topic for another discussion, presentations. I just want to touch on two things. Which are these? The historical materialism provided a way of interpreting the world which said that the history itself will make sure that capitalism will end. It was this Soviet Union interpretation of the critique of capitalism, of Marxism, which created this automatism of history, arguing that thanks to the inevitable development of mankind, it is the nature of this history that capitalism will be abolished. In other words, it was this odd Marx interpretation saying that mankind's history will in any case inevitably result in the end of capitalism. Everybody knows that the least who were believing in their own theory were the Soviet Union Marxists. They didn't wait and let the history make the revolution. They didn't trust the nonsense they created. They made it. And they even made the anti-capitalist revolution even before history was in the situation that there was at all a capitalist society at that time in Russia. It was an agricultural society. And these anti-capitalists in Russia, under the leadership of that Communist Party, they did not believe in the nonsense they propagated that time will anyway abolish capitalism. They abolished it, and they did not wait. This is the first theoretical piece, if you want, which apparently those critiques of decolonization social sciences must have in mind when they are able to present mankind and the development of mankind as the subject that carries out and guarantees mankind's morality. This idea was already guiding this nonsense of the historical materialism, arguing that history is against capitalism. That is the first one. The second point. The second point provided by the historical materialism, the way the Soviet Union interpreted the critique of capitalism, their interpretation of Marxism, or their interpretation of Marx, is this one. It happened in the course of the history of the Soviet Union that, and this has something to do with the war Germany started against Russia, that the critics of capitalism practicing an alternative society system in the Soviet Union more and more shifted the aims of their revolution from serving the material interests of people towards politically defined missions. Connected with that war against the Germans, it was more and more the state which Lenin considered at the beginning of this revolution as a political body that has to disappear in the course of the development of their revolution and to be replaced by other ways of organizing a revolutionary society. In the course of the Soviet Union development related to this war, it was more and more the state who became not abolished, but who became the political subject of the revolution. This, considering the state, the socialist state, as the real subject of an alternative society system, alternative to capitalism. This idea that it is the state which fights for anti-capitalist aims. It is this idea coming again from the Soviet Union Marxists, which obviously fed the thinkers in the colonized world to consider their achievement of an independent state as a step towards abolishing capitalism. This is a dramatic error, and this is the error that plays the most important role today in Africa, and not only in Africa, but all over the world, among intellectuals who are discussing critiques, who are discussing their critiques of capitalism, and all of them consider the state as that very neutral instance that, once changing its agenda, must be the subject for any anti-capitalist, any actions, activities towards alternative society systems, alternative to capitalism. The debate about decolonization, as much as it is, as I said, throwing overboard any critique of this society system, originates from this false critique of capitalism created in the Soviet Union, considering the state as a potential revolutionary subject. And doing this is the real serious drama, if you like, of this debate about decolonizing thinking.